When I was growing up, some of these things were still being done. And I remember whenever we would have a buffalo dance, I would be sitting with my grandfather. I was a mere child then. And when we had a bear dance, I would be sitting with my grandfather. And in front of my grandfather, in the mud lodge, at my grandfather's seat, in front of his seat, facing my grandfather, would be his proteges. I remember a Clyde roaming chief, a son of head chief of the Pawnee tribe, roaming chief. Clyde was a protege to my grandfather, Wichita Blaine. And another one I remember was Lewis Matlock. Lewis Matlock was also a protege to my grandfather. Now, the things that my grandfather used to do, well, since he was blind, well, Lewis was older than Clyde, had been with my grandfather longer, so he did all the floor works that and did various things that my grandfather was authorized to do as part of this ritual. The ritual took 4 days. On the last day, which was the 4th day, is when the dancing was. The other 3 days were and nights were elaborate medicine making, prayers, lectures, songs, and the like. And there were also 2 other men, but right now I just can't think of who they were. And whenever my grandfather, when the drums came along, and they got to our seat, which was in the northwest area of the circle, my grandfather would sing the songs. He was blind, so he no more performed. But I'd stand up, and get out there in front, and I'd perform, and this delighted a lot of the older people. And a lot of the older people, they cried. It delighted them, but still a lot of them wept, especially women, because my father had died. So I was not being brought up by my father. Well, my grandpa was there, but then he was blind, and then to go along with that, to reinforce that sad feeling, maybe was the fact that there I was, 3 and even younger, and a little later on older, but there I was at that age with my grandpa at his seat performing. Even though a childish like, like I was a little boy, and they could see the end of our rituals coming, because there were nothing but old men in there. and I was the only young boy. I was the only one. There were other young boys there, but they were in their teens. Two that I used to see. I guess they were maybe 15 or 18. But you know, they just came when the dance was. They didn't sit through the 3 days. They were out playing around and enjoying themselves. And the day they danced, well, these two came in and they danced. Now, these older people, well, it made them happy to see me in the old way as they remembered. The younger ones taking hold and carrying on. But yet they knew that now we were, our culture was going. There were nothing but old men there. There were no young boys there. And that when the old men died, this was all. And this was the saddening part to them, that they had just a little time. They saw what they call the tail end, and they realized this, and this was what the tears was about, losing our rituals. The next thing I'll talk about is the chiefs of the tribe. In the Pawnee tribe, the chiefs come from the bloodline. And the chief's sister, her son has the first choice to become chief. Not necessarily the oldest son. It will be the son that has the most qualifications. The firstborns are preferred. However, sometimes you have someone younger that is more qualified to become chief. And there are also circumstances that might come about where someone else may become chief. The ones preferred are the sister's children of the chief. Now, his own sons, the chief's own sons, may become chief if they are qualified and more preferred by the people. The people do not choose the chief. However, they know who the people prefer and who they favor. Now, there is also another way to become chief, and that is if you were a good hunter and a good warrior, and you contributed to the tribe's safety, to the welfare and well-being of the tribe, and you won the love of the people, and they wanted to follow you. the chiefs may recognize this, and they may get together and fulfill the wishes of the people. So a warrior that is well respected, that the people want to follow, may become chief. However, his sons do not have the right to carry on after the father is dead. The family then has the precedence of the people. You know, they then have the reputation or the name that their family had once held a chiefship. In 1936, the Pawnees adopted the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act. And this act allowed the Pawnees to continue having chiefs as a part of the governing body. So we have in our tribe, we have a business committee, a business council, and at the same time we have the Chiefs Council. Now, since most of the people leave Pawnee for employment and for education, a lot of the bloodline chiefs are gone. So as a result, what has happened is the Pawnees now vote, or rather they have an election every 2 years for the business council. Now, every 4 years, the Pawnees select 2 people from each band to be the band chiefs. So as a result, we have 8 chiefs. We have 4 bands, and each band select 2 people to be their chiefs. They try to keep the people that are of the chief bloodline in this group. But that's hard to do. So since most everyone leaves, they choose 2 people that are well respected, and these 2 people act as chiefs. So as a result, well, the chiefs of Pawnee are not from the bloodline. They are selected. Now, I am one of the hereditary chiefs. And ever since I was a small child, I always heard my family tell me how to conduct myself. And it's not just sitting down and telling you what to do, how to act, and how to behave. And it's just all the time. It's just every day you are reminded little things that you must not do this. That shows weakness. You must be this way. Remember, you're going to be a chief. Or, they might say, remember, you may be a chief one of these days. And you're going to have compassion for the people. And you're going to have to love the people, and you're going to have to protect the people, and you're going to have to feed the people. And so as a result, in the old days, those that were chiefs, they had a hard time. They fed a lot of people. They helped people. And those men didn't have too much of a chance to compile anything for themselves. It was always going to the people. And they say this is the way to be. God was let you be born in this line, and you have to be good. You have to be helpful. You have to love the people, and you have to observe, and you have to be pretty neutral. You cannot take sides. You can pretty well know what direction to move, but they will say it's not good to get after the people. When you talk to them good. And these are some of the things that are taught you. When you go to, they invite you somewhere and you're on your way over there. Well, the first thing they tell you now, when we get there and we eat, remember now, everything we put in your plate, you must eat it all. And if there's sweet stuff there, well, and there's other children there, well, you must let them have it, because maybe they don't get this all the time. And so it's in this way. Well, you'll be in a little way. You'll be taking care of them. You'll be letting them have. And, sacrifice all the time. You're always sacrificing, And they tell you when you sacrifice, well,
it should put love in your heart for the people. If an old man, old lady asks you to do something, well, do it real fast and real quick, and because they're old, and don't make them wait. And it's just day after day, just little things. Everything, just about everything you do, you're reminded, to do your best, and no complaints, and says it's not good to complain. If you complain, well, each time you complain, it'll be easier for you to complain. And after a while, that's all you've been doing is complaining. So don't even start it the first time. That's hard to do. I like to complain.
Is it running? When I was a child growing up, sometimes we would hear that someone had a baby, a boy or a girl. So in a few days, well, we would load up the big wagon, and hook the horses up, and we'd go over there. And when we arrived there, sometimes there'd be other people there. And if it was a girl, they would really be glad. The women, the old ladies, they'd all go in and they'd pass the baby around, and there would be really a lot of rejoicing, because this is a girl, and she's going to perpetuate our tribe. She'll have many children, and she'll get married, and she's going to be a beautiful girl. She's going to have a lot of hair and big braids, and I guess this was a sign of beauty, and she's going to be smiling all day, and she'll be good to her father and mother. And these are the things that I used to hear, and they would all be glad, and there'd be prayers, and it'll just be a real happy affair, And us little boys and girls, they'd call us in, and they'd say, "Come look at the baby." And we'd all walk in, and look at the little baby, and of course we all wanted to go back out and play. And this is what I remember. Now, if it happened to be a boy, well, when we arrived, we would put our horses up and go in, and about the same thing took place. Everybody was happy, and they'd pass the little boy around, and each old lady or old man that took the child, they'd say, "Well, he's going to be a strong man. He's going to look after his father and mother, look after his sisters, and he's going to be a good man. He's going to be a good hunter." And then they'd be each one, and then whoever had it would bow his head a little bit and hold the baby, and he'd old man, well, he'd pray, and he'd say, "God, you sent us this man that's going to, one of these days he'll be looking after us, and he's going to sweat, and
he's going to be hot in the summertime, and he'll be burning himself in the weather, trying to provide food for the tribe. And in the wintertime, he'll be freezing and trying to be out, trying to provide food for the tribe, And then they'd kind of, their voice would break a little bit, and they'd shed a tear or two, and it is a kind of a different from the way the girls, the way their prayers for the girls, the man, they'd all say, well, just one of these days you're going to work hard, and you're going to, the great heat, but you're going to still be out there working and hunting. And it's going to be freezing, but you're going to still be out there freezing yourself and working and hunting. But all this was good for the tribe, And then they'd say, God, have mercy on this boy and give him good health, and so that he may cope with these things that he's going to face.